Using Lightning, a mobile app for field responders. This video is intended for field responders and radius telecommunicators to learn about Lightning. In this training, we're going to cover how to download Lightning, logging in and out of Lightning, the various buttons and icons in Lightning, how to change the base map and add map layers, call functionality, and how the telecommunicator views the Lightning responders in Radius. Let's start with downloading Lightning. If the agency has elected to enable the Lightning welcome email, the Lightning user will receive the email as soon as they are created as a user. The email may vary according to the agency's sign-on procedures, but it will contain links to download Lightning for the app or Google Play Store, sign-in instructions, and more. If you do not receive a welcome email, you can access Lightning from the provided URL, which will open the app or Google Play Store depending upon the device's operating system to then start the download. Now let's take a look at Lightning and get started with signing in. Now that I have downloaded Lightning, let's sign in. I'm going to tap the app on my screen, select Continue on the first pop-up, and begin to sign in. After entering my email address and password, I'm going to tap Continue. And the Lightning permission to show location and privacy considerations screen appears. I do need to accept this to continue, so I'm going to tap Accept, at which point I have logged into my ECC. I do want to note that if I'm signing into Lightning from a region or state level or someone who has access to multiple ECCs, I would need to select the appropriate ECC and then continue before I come to this welcome carousel of information. Keep in mind that as there are changes within Lightning, this welcome carousel may change. This is the welcome carousel of information to give you a quick run through of everything that you need to know about Lightning. I'm going to slide through the welcome carousel. That again gives a brief overview of some of the Lightning buttons and functionality, which we will go into more detail further in this training. Now, at the end of this welcome carousel, I do have two options. I can choose to show this again in one day, or I can select Got It, which means the carousel will not pop up when I log in tomorrow. Because Lightning is still new, I'm going to select Show Again in one day so that I'll get the reminders of the various functions and buttons. And now I have completely logged into Lightning. And we are looking at my location on the screen. Let's stop here and take a moment to talk about some of the various icons and buttons. So my user icon in the top left, as I tap that, you'll see that it opens up some options. I can change my theme from light mode to dark mode. Let's change this back to light mode. I have the About button, which will then open up the version of Lightning. I have the ability to review the privacy policy as well as the support option, which will allow me to go to Zendesk, which houses our Help Center articles, as well as has the ability to create a support ticket. Going to select back. And I also have the ability here to log out. We're going to talk about logging out a little bit later in the training. So I'm going to slide this menu down. And now let's talk about some of the other icons and buttons. So with Lightning, I can just tap and drag on my screen or use two fingers to zoom in and zoom out. If I want to recenter on my location, I can select the Center on Me icon in the top right, which will bring my map view focus back to my location. Now let's review the Map Layers icon. When I click on the Map Layers icon, it's going to bring up several options. The first one is my Maps tab, and this is where I would choose my desired base map. So from here, let's pick the Google Satellite view, and you'll see that my base map has changed to Google Satellite. A base map is exactly what it sounds like. It is that bottom map that remains constant. Let's change it back to Esri Navigation. Now, layers can be layered over a base map. So you'll see, and we're going to talk about these further in the training, but if my agency is using Critical Incident Board and a Critical Incident Board has been created in Radius by the telecommunicator, as a lightning responder, I can turn on those geofences by tapping the toggle. I also have the ability to look at traffic incidences, and the Waze layer. So let's take a look at those. And again, slide this down. I do want to note that my base map has not changed, but you'll see that my layers have added the green streets, meaning that traffic is flowing well where I am. As I zoom out, you'll see that we have some red, some yellow streets, some areas that indicate a Waze event, as well as potentially a road closure or some sort of road incident that's causing this bridge and waterway to show red. Let's go back into my layers and turn those off. I also have weather layers that will show me things such as temperature. Let's turn the temperature layer off by toggling it. And now let's center back on my location by using the Center on Me icon. Going back to my map icon and clicking over on layers, I do want to note that under the layers option, any layers that are available to my ECC in Radius will also be available in Lightning. And again, these can be turned on and off just by clicking on the toggle, and that layer will then be present on the map. All right, so let's turn that off. Go back to Center on Me. So now let's take a look at other responders. Using two fingers, I'm going to zoom out, and I can see another responder indicated by the purple arrow icon. Clicking on the purple arrow icon zooms into that responder, brings up their location and name, and I also have a navigate button. Upon clicking on the navigate button, it opens the navigation options on my device. So these may vary according to the type of mobile device that you're using. I also have another way of looking up responders, and that is using the search icon. Upon clicking on the search icon, you'll see that I can see my responder listed. I can sort this via the nearest responder according to miles, or A to Z reference their name. As I only have one responder here, it's still only showing that one responder, but I do also have the ability to type in and search, and you'll see as I start to search for a responder that is not currently active or logged into Lightning, I am getting that there are no search results matching that request. Again, as I click on my responder, it will zoom into their location. I can see all the same information along with my navigate button. So I can see that a call has appeared on my map, indicated by the vehicle for telematics map pin. As I click on that, I zoom into that location in Lightning. I'm provided with the approximate location and details about this incident. I do have a navigate button that, again, upon tapping, will bring up the navigational programs on my device. And under additional data, I have a down arrow. When I click on that, this brings up the additional telematics data related to this call. So this being a telematics call, I can see that I have crash indicators as well as vehicle information. And as this is an electric vehicle, as I scroll back up to the top, I can see that I have a rescue sheet. When I click on that, it brings up the rescue or cut sheet for this particular vehicle. Now, the information under additional data will vary according to the call type. Had this been a panic button, you would have panic button related details under the additional data versus telematics as this is showing. All right, so let's tap off of this or close out of viewing this call. I can do that by doing the slider down or just tapping anywhere on the map. Let's center back to my location. Now let's look at another call. Now I can see that I've had a call appear on my map. The icon changed from blue to red. And when I click on this, I can see that I have several things available to me. First and foremost, I have access to the chat log, which I can see is between the telecommunicator and the caller in another language, but it has been translated into English. And I also see that my join video button is available. And upon clicking, I can see the live streaming view of the caller's video. Now, this is set to be blurred by default. I can tap on unblur to see the unblurred version of the video. I can also choose to mute and unmute the video, and I can see that it's live. Be advised that this is a one-way video between the telecommunicator and the caller. As a responder, I can view this video, but I am not able to join the video. Let's blur that back and talk about some other functionality within Lightning. Let's go back to the Lightning app. So we are back at my location, and I'm going to zoom out a bit so that you can see that there are two calls showing nearby. Now, to search for events, I will go to my search icon, and the first tab it brings up is responders. Now, right now, there are no other responders logged in, and we've already talked about how to search for responders when we were covering viewing other responders in Lightning. I'm going to click over to the Events tab, and now you'll see that I have a list of events that is currently sorted by those nearest to me. I can change that order and sort those via what was created most recently or what is the latest created. And I also have the ability to filter those, view those calls that were made via landline, mobile. Those are related to CIB or critical incident board, panic buttons, crash or telematics, or unknown. So when I search for an event and I find the event that I'm looking for, and I do want to note that you can search by using the search bar. So if you have the location of the event, all you have to do is type. But when I find the event that I am looking for, all I have to do is tap it. It will then bring me to that location zoomed in on the map, and I have all of the same capabilities as we've already discussed with call functionality. Now let's go back to the search function, over to events, and I want to talk about critical incident board. So I have several critical incident boards set up, and I'm going to just click on the last one, and it is going to zoom me into that location of the critical incident board. And just a reminder, because under my map layers, I have the critical incident board geofence turned on. That's why I'm seeing the entire geofence around the critical incident board location. And I also have my CCTV camera layer turned on, and I can see those as indicated by the orange colored dots. So from this viewpoint within my critical incident board, I also have the ability to navigate there, again, using the navigational apps on my mobile device. Now I also have the ability to view the camera feeds. When I click on camera feeds, it then brings up all of the available CCTV camera feeds within my geofence area. Now, with these feeds, I also have a navigate button. Again, it's going to bring up my device's navigational apps for me to choose from. I can also expand or make a larger view of the camera. And then also I can go back to the original view. Now, within this critical incident board geofence, if there was a caller who was also streaming their video, that video feed would appear under the Rapid Video tab. So with that, I'm going to click back, and let's then move away from this critical incident board. And I now want to show you what the telecommunicator sees in Radius with lightning responders. Okay, so we are logged into Radius and we are viewing what the telecommunicator would see when they have Radius up and open and there is a responder logged into Lightning. I am going to zoom in and I want to show you that we are looking at the exact same thing that the Lightning responder also sees. I can see my two active calls here, and as I click on them, my call detail drawer will open and it will provide me information such as this is a telematics call with all of the same details that I saw as a responder. What I do have now, though, is this icon here that indicates that I have a Lightning responder logged in and active in Lightning. Now, I do want to note that responder locations are based on the location of their device or that mobile phone. This is not AVL. It is based on the device location. Now I'm viewing that responder because I have the map layer turned on. Let's go to my map layers, and if I uncheck responders, you'll see that that responder disappears. When I recheck them, let's give it a moment, and then they will reappear. As I hover, I can see the name of that responder, and as I click, I can see the responder details, including that location, their course if they're heading a certain direction, latitude, longitude, the timestamp of that last location, as well as altitude. All right, so now that we know what the telecommunicator sees in Radius, let's now move on to logging out of Lightning. Logging out. So it is imperative that a Lightning responder logs out of the Lightning app rather than just closing the app on their mobile device. Not logging out may show the responder as still active at their last known location to other responders and to the telecommunicator. Let's walk through the logout process. So we are viewing both Lightning and Radius side by side. Let's go through the logout process for a responder in Lightning. To log out, I'm going to click on the user icon, tap Log Out at the bottom of the menu. I'll get a pop-up that says, "Are you sure you want to log out?" I'm going to click Log Out, and when I do so, I will be logged out of the Lightning application and I will no longer show as a responder in Radius for the telecommunicator. Again, it is important as a responder with Lightning to log out of the application